This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have punk princess, solo artist, and lead guitarist of X-Teen and the Reckless Hearts, Zoe Roarz on the show. How you doing today, Zoe?
Doing great.
What was your youth like growing up in Kansas City?
It's just like suburbia, so there's not too much to do. Hang out in your friend's basement, go to shows.
What was the family like?
Great, they're very supportive.
High school?
I hated school. I was very bad at it. I went to a bunch of different alternative schools and stuff. It was just kind of a bad kid a little bit.
How old were you when you went into your first alternative school?
14 or 15. Lots of obey the rules, do what you're told.
Did you rebel?
I could have rebelled more.
One rebellion story.
Just kind of sneaking out, doing things when I'm not supposed to. I grew up in a lot of girls' homes, so after alternative school, I would go to the girls' home.
Why was it necessary for you to be in a girls' home?
Struggled a lot with like my mental health as a kid growing up, and was kind of just in and out of mental wards. Got placed in residential inpatient girls' homes for like months at a time instead of like 3-day holds. Grandview was cool, but because I went to that school through the girls' home, they kind of had us locked off in a separate room from like the rest of the school because we were like the extra crazies. So the crazies got their own room. They locked us up in it all day, and it had like its own bathroom and everything. And Summit Ridge was like really cool. It was right next to the richest school in the neighborhood, and then like this little closet was the alternative school just like right off of it. And so it was like super nice inside. For reals, the last time I was walking out, I like did the like Judd Nelson like Breakfast Club like I'm fucking out of here. Like
You classically trained on the clarinet when you were 9 years old.
I started violin and I really liked it, but my violin teacher told me to cut my nails, and I don't know, that rubbed me the wrong way that day. And so I was like, I'm never playing violin ever again. And so then I quit playing violin, which was so weird, like such a moody thing. The next year I was like, oh, I want to play clarinet. This looks like such a cool instrument. Like, I just want to be in band. And clarinet was one of the first few instruments I could, like, make a noise out of, a squeak out of. And I was like, okay, I'll go with this one then. And I just kind of really took off with it, loved it, was always first or second chair. It's a fun time. I played clarinet until about middle school, and then I kind of chickened out because I heard the teacher was, like, super scary and mean. A teacher can kind of ruin everything. So I kind of stopped playing in band, but kind of played on my own after that. And then I fell into piano. Guitar, started just playing around town.
Usually bars don't let 14-year-old girls play there. So how did that happen?
It was so hard playing around venues and stuff. I just want to play, like, please let me play. So it'd start with like open mics that the music school I went to would kind of put on. It would be like a show at the end of the month, and we all could like get up and do a song or two that we've been working on the whole month. And then after that, just a lot of schmoozing. I had to have my dad come with me. He's a really good salesman, businessman. He can talk to anyone about anything. So I just bring him with me, and he'd kind of do his thing. I would play 18 plus places a lot and get a good crowd going in there.
Experiences in those clubs help you to grow up quicker?
No, I don't really think it brought any sense of more maturity. Just performance was the best way of expressing myself, and it kept me going. Can't do it too well with words, but with music, yeah.
How would you describe your first band, Big Brother, and the 5-song EP, Hype?
Ooh, that band was really fun. I was trying really hard to start a girl band when I was little. I was like, IRL, that would just be so cool. In the middle of Missouri, there's not enough women musicians to like be whole bands. You'd see like one or two in like each band or something, but I was like, I need a whole band. So I got my friend from cooking class. Her name was also Zoe, so it was a band of two Zoes. And then I could not find a bassist, so I made my friend Drew play bass. He kind of already dabbled in it a little bit. It's like, we're making a band. And it was just a really fun time. We'd always have really fun shows, and it was back when I was in high school, so to have all my friends like in class come out and see us. The teachers would come see us, and so that was always fun.
What inspired the name Big Brother?
It's the 1984 classic, kind of like Janis Joplin's Big Brother and the Holding Company. Yeah, I was also really inspired by Big Brother. Watching You, surveillance and stuff.
How long did that band stay together?
Sophomore until I graduated high school. So it was just like my high school band.
At 19, you released your first full-length album, Vomited Explanations.
The title is just whenever I write, it's like I gotta get it out of me. Like there's no stopping it. And so that's what the songs are, is just vomited emotions put down into thoughts. It's like some of my first songs that I ever wrote on guitar or on that album. These are songs that I wrote even before the songs I wrote for Big Brother that I got to put on this album too. So it's just kind of like a collection of me from when I was 14 to 18.
What inspired your latest single, Lip Gloss?
Lip Gloss is about the homegirl who needs to leave her man for me. It's just kind of like a garage rock anti-love song.
Tell me about the music video.
The music video is really fun. It's a lyric video, so it's got the lyrics with it, and it's just footage from the last show I had in Kansas City before I moved away. So like all my friends came together and we're all just like rocking out to like some of my favorite acts. It was a really fun show. We had a lot of my favorite like local bands and stuff play, so it was just a good time. And every time I watch the video, I'm just like, memories. It's funny because the whole time it's focusing on the happiest and cutest couple in the world, but they were playing the angry couple in the music video. So like everybody's like, it's Vanessa and John, when they're really like the cutest, and they're playing like they hate each other. So that's always funny.
What inspired the lyrics to your 2020 singles? Let's start off with Imposter Syndrome.
Imposter Syndrome is where you don't think you deserve what you're getting. It was, for me, a relationship. I didn't feel I deserved the healthiness of it or something like that. And so it was just kind of a lot of self-reflection of why I don't feel adequate.
I see your tears and know that's not what you want to hear. I don't deserve it. I didn't earn it.
Stuck Inside.
Stuck Inside, so that's like the pandemic and Stephen King's The Shining, and it's just kind of like the song is a Venn diagram comparing the two.
Your next single released on your birthday called I Can't Always Be Your Hero.
This song is kind of about energy vampires, people who like to just kind of like drain you of your comfort and your peace and kind of thrive off of it.
That I try to go to sleep, you just happen to be in too deep, losing my mind trying to
You played for crowds of 18,000 people, correct?
Yeah.
How did that happen and what was that like?
I just love playing any festivals. So anytime we'd have downtown days or like Oktoberfests and stuff like that, I would always get on the stage somehow. I'd either lie and say I was with my music group when I wasn't, like my music school to get my spot on stage, or figure out who I can talk to get my spot on the stage. Festivals are so fun because it's so much more energy. I feel like some people get really scared with a bigger audience, but it's even more fun for me.
I've been thinking, and I've been dreaming, and I've been wanting something to fill my emptiness, to fill my emptiness.
The highlights of opening for comedian and that metal show host Don Jameson.
Oh man, that was so cool.
I will be your host for the night, and I'm going to bring up some great bands.
He's such a nice guy. He bought some merch. It was really fun.
I said it was going to be a killer party, so let's all have a great time.
He said like a really nice intro about my band at the time called Metal Roach.
I can't think of a better band to kick things off with.
Better than Greta Van Fleet.
I know everyone's talking about Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van who?
So supportive. Like I wasn't expecting him to be so kind.
They're good. They sound like Led Zeppelin. Let me tell you about this band. One of my favorites. Every time I come out here, they have to be on the show. If you roll up Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd into a big fat joint, and you smoke it, you get Metal Roach. Give it up, everybody!
We didn't really put out any music or anything. We have a couple demos.
Did he give you any advice?
I think he just said lean into what we were doing. I'm a fan of music history as well, not just where it's going, but where it's been. It's also like really cool to me.
How did you come to be the lead guitarist and join X-Teen and the Reckless Hearts?
So cool. Me and X-Teen have been mutuals on Instagram for a long time, just kind of like each other's posts and comment and stuff, cheering each other on. She somehow found out that I moved moved to LA. The first month I moved out there, she's like, we kind of need a guitarist right now. Would you be up for jamming? And I was, yeah, like even if it's like not what you guys want, to just get out there and jam with people, I'm so down. Went and jammed. It was such a fun time. There's such nice people, and I'm just grateful to have found such a genuine group of souls.
The stage presence and how you guys interact together, there's so much energy and power, and you guys are all on point.
It's just so fun. Like Ariel will just kind of like lock in with Lou, and they just kind of do their thing. It's just empowering.
Ariel's awesome.
Oh, she's a queen.
We're X-Teen and the Reckless Hearts! That's X-Teen. But we are reckless nonetheless.
Teach me everything, Ariel.
I know.
I'm taking notes.
What is the most unselfish thing you ever did for someone?
I do that a lot. I have a hard time with putting up my own boundaries. Doing things for someone when you really don't want to or can't.
What brings you the most peace in your life right now?
Playing music, being out here, it's just so fun. Such a great change.
What is your greatest fear?
Not doing something because of fear.
How would you define the word love?
Intense. Raw.
What comes first, the lyrics or the music?
I don't know. I think it just kind of all comes at once. It feels like it's coming from somewhere else. And I just have to hurry up and get it like out as quick as it can before it goes away.
How do you know who your real friends are?
They respect your boundaries.
I wanna soak up the sun, but you are an umbrella. You brought the cold with you and the air in your eyes. Every time I feel the melody, you wanna keep changing. I just don't see things the way you do. You resent me for it.
If you could collaborate with any legendary musician, living or dead, who would it be?
Chris Cornell. That would be so cool to jam with like old school Soundgarden. Or Otis Redding would be really cool. Odie in a big band with all the horns and stuff, and we're just swinging. More modern. Destroy Boys. They're super cool. They're like a new California band.
How important is fame to you, and could you live without it?
Yeah, I could live without it. I feel like fame is kind of what you make it. Even if 3 people like you. It's like with me and my friends going out, nobody knows us, but we're famous. You know, it's just kind of what you make it.
What song do you wish you had written?
A lot of Pink Floyd. Ooh, All Apologies by Nirvana. The unplugged version is so cool. I wish I wrote that.
What would you like the legacy of your music career to be?
Maybe I can be the inspiration for people to be able to feel like they can express themselves, whether through music or art of any kind.
You're trapped on a desert island. You can only take 5 albums with you. What are they going to be?
I'd probably pick The Wall by Pink Floyd, Bleach Nirvana, Nemesis Sisters, Babes in Toyland, Donny Hathaway, but I can't figure out which album, Frank by Amy Winehouse.
What do you think makes your music unique in a world of disposable music?
I just try to make music that'll last a long time. When I create songs, I try to think of longevity versus trends in music. Song structures like that, where it's just not like thinking of the now.
Who were some of the first musical artists that had the biggest impact on you, and why?
A lot of pop punk bands, because I'm a product of my time. I grew up in the early 2000s, so I love Simple Plan, Sum 41, Bowling for Soup, like stuff like that. And then I also really like a lot of classic rock. Alice Cooper, liked The Who a lot. And then I also really loved pop, so I just loved me some Lady Gaga. I loved Kesha. I loved it all.
Tell me about this tour with X-Teen and the Reckless Hearts. You're going to the UK.
Super exciting. I've never been overseas before, never left the country. So much of a culture shock just like moving out here, and now I'm going like all the way to the UK. I'm just excited. It's just so fun to see so much in such a quick amount of time. It'll be fun to be with just the coolest group of girls ever, rocking the streets of London, being punk, having fun, like being tough. You know, it'll be fun. I'm just so excited.
What's next?
Check out my music. It's on all music streaming platforms. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have a collab or 2 planned, and by the winter I start recording an EP. That's kind of the plan.
Zoe, thank you for being on the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show.
Thank you for having me.
You rock. This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show with Zoe Roarz signing off.
The Blairing Out Show.